So you want to hire a brand designer, you've stalked them on Insta, you visited their website 11 times. And at this point, you're like, okay, I'm ready to go. Let me inquire. Let me hop on a call. And let me understand like what the process is, right? I want to walk you through what the 4 signs, red flags waving high in the sky can be when you're reaching out to a brand designer. And of course, these can be examples that you could use for any service provider. But of course, since I am a designer, I am going to leverage my platform to explain to you what you should be looking for. Hey, my people, welcome back. It's Sydney Hart here, designer and copywriter, founder of the home of big brand energy, but you call it With Hart Creative Studio. We are a full service rebrand agency that works with content creators and media personalities so they can not only leverage social media, YouTube, TikTok, etc., but also a brand and website that doesn't necessarily allow them to chase their ideal brand partnerships, but the ones that keep them coming, right? The ones that you attract without having to do much because you're selling yourself, right? So as I said, I want to talk to you all about what the red flags are. I've seen these red flags when reaching out to other service providers. I've even done some of these red flags, y'all. Like in my last video was all about my design journey and what I didn't have, what I did have, and what I do have now, right? So I think it's really important, even for designers who are in the beginning phase. If you are showing any of these signs, get it in check. If you're reaching out to a designer, tell them to get it in check, and decide on your own merit if you want to work with them. So the first red flag that a lot of designers have is that they're not clear about who they work with. Now, this isn't to say that a designer has to pick a specific industry or even a specific type of client, but it is very important to be clear about who you serve when it comes to service providers, product-based businesses, boutique owners, folks who want to scale to 6 figures. Wherever you are in the process, you want to make sure that the site that you're hopping on, the designer that you're inquiring with, is the person to potentially help you with your problem, right? It makes no sense for you to reach out to a designer that serves anyone and everyone, because anyone and everyone work could get you any and everything. And that's not necessarily always a positive.
No.
When you talk to a designer, like I say all the time, they're not necessarily just deciding if they're a good fit, but they're also deciding if you're a good fit. So it makes sense for both folks to do their part, share who they want to serve, and also you make sure you kind of tick all those boxes so that you can work together seamlessly. So the next thing that is a red flag is there's no clear process. You want someone that can clearly communicate. This is step 1, step 2, step 2.5, step 3, step 4, so that you can set up your expectations. You may even have a team that's going to be handling some of these things that a designer may need. So you also have to be able to communicate to that to them, right? So when it comes to having a process, it's super, super important. So make sure you ask that question and make sure that if there's no clear process, make sure you dig a little deeper. If you still don't see one, again, they might not be the best fit. Next is design style, right? If you can't necessarily envision your brand in the style that the designer does their artwork in, then you might not necessarily be a good fit. I always tell folks that designers can definitely be versatile in a sense, but usually a designer who's been in the game a few years understands that they have a signature style in a way, right? So you always want to make sure that those things align. And then lastly, I love to cover if they have no social proof, like at all, then that's a big red flag. Now, This doesn't necessarily mean that they have to have a portfolio, they have to have a ton of testimonials, they have to have 20 years of experience, but there has to be something along the line that shows you that this person knows what they're talking about. Unless this is a family friend, someone you've known for years, someone that you know you can trust, it's really important to vet your designer and understand that you have to ask the questions as well as them, right? It could be their corporate experience that they've had. It could be, so it's really important to understand, you know, where these people are in their journey and how they can ultimately help you. So I would really ask questions about, you know, what they've done for others, if they're going in a different direction, what they see for themselves, right? Maybe they're pivoting an offer and this is like a kind of beta offering, a new offer. It's still really important to ask those questions. But ultimately, these red flags are something that I would take with a grain of salt. Of course, work through your own discernment and make sure that whatever designer you're reaching out to works for you. But these are some of the things that I would definitely suggest to sort of double and triple check before you decide to invest with someone. So I hope this helps on your journey to crafting relationships with other designers. Thanks so much for hanging out with me in the home of Big Brand Energy. I truly, truly appreciate it. Again, my name is Sydney Hart, and you have a good one.